Hi, this is the Viking from the Warkings. You're listening to Rockum Radio. Hey man.
Hi, Viking.
Hi, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Oh, it's too hot.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so cool to have you here today.
Yeah, and thank you that you could move up the interview. That's perfect. Thank you.
Where you calling from?
Valhalla? It's
Ajala.
very hot in Valhalla.
Yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. Well, congrats on the new album,
Thank
Armageddon.
you. Thank you.
I had a chance to listen to it, and I really
Okay.
enjoyed it. It's
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
colorful and full of energy.
Yeah, that was the goal. Yes, yes, yeah.
Great. Well, so let's talk about the album.
Yeah.
To begin, where and when did you record Armageddon?
Yeah, it was recorded, during the most part of the last year. So it wasn't one place because we started songwriting in December 2023, and then we recorded some parts. We recorded some stuff at the studio of Jacob Hansen in Denmark, and then we recorded some parts at the studio of our producer in Nuremberg, and and then some parts. I recorded some parts here in my home studio.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a process during the year. We wrote some songs, we recorded them, then we went on tour, then we wrote some songs, played some summer festivals, and so on. And so it took nearly the whole last year to finish the record.
Okay, so it started in 2023.
Yeah, we started with the songwriting. We started in December 2003, something like that. But with the recording, it started in early 2024.
Oh, okay.
And we went on our first, own headlining tour, and so we had a little break with this and played some summer festivals, and then we wrote some more songs during that, recorded them, then we went on tour in December again, and I think the last parts of the record were recorded in January this year.
Wow. I heard that you work with Jacob Hansen, right?
Yeah.
And also you work with Felix Health.
Yes. Yeah.
How was work with them?
Felix, he was the producer of the record, so he came in 2023. When we started writing songs, we wanted to have a new producer. The last four records were produced by a guy called Eike Frese from Hamburg, and then we asked Felix, because he works with bands like Visions of Atlantis and
Oh,
so on, and Dominum, if you know Dominum, and so we asked him. So he was kind of like involved in the whole record. He was involved in the songwriting throughout the whole year, and we recorded parts at his studio, especially vocals and stuff. And Jacob was the guy who did all the mix and the mastering, to make
mhm.
it sound. We wanted to have a huge, Hollywood kind of like big sound, and we thought he was perfect. And we recorded, we I don't know, four or five songs, drums at his place, and then we came back for the mix and the mastering, and he made just an incredible job because we all think the album sounds incredibly good.
Wow. And I know that you had great guests on this album. For
Yeah,
example, you mentioned Dominion.
yeah,
You have another guest like one of my favorite bands, uh, Orden Ogan. I like Orden Ogan and Subway to Sally. How did
yeah.
this collaboration happen?
I mean, with Dominum, it was obvious because Felix, our producer, he's also the singer in Dominum, and so we just asked him, during the process, if he wanted to sing a song, and same is with Orden Ogan. Orden Ogan are just friends. We played so many festivals with them together. We had some backstage parties and all that stuff. And so, when we recorded Genghis Khan, we just called Seb, the singer from Orden Ogan, and said, "Hey, man, you want to sing a song with us about Genghis Khan?" And he said yes. And it's incredible. And Subway to Sally is a little bit different because we went on tour with them last year. So Subway to Sally have this tradition. They, for 15, I don't know, 15, 16 years now, they do a tour every December, mostly in Germany and Switzerland and Austria. They do a tour, and they invite other bands, friends they invite to come with them on tour. So they invited us last year for their tour.
Hmm.
And in preparation for the tour, when you talk about all the stuff that needs to happen, the idea came up to, hey, you want to write a song together and make a song together? So we wrote this song together with Subway to Sally, and we recorded it together with them. Some parts recorded from us, some parts from
For
Subway to
them.
Sally. And then the song, we liked the song so much, and so we released it on both albums. Subway to Sally had a new album out last year in December, so that the song was on that record, and it's now on our record. It's like that's really that's not only like a guest thing,
Hmm.
invite somebody to come sing something. So this song was written together, with that band.
Oh, okay, okay. And what about the guest songwriters like Ken Armstrong and Ike Freeze? What did
Yeah,
they bring to the songs?
yeah. When we started the songwriting for Armageddon,
Hmm.
the last records we made, we like during the pandemic, we made a record every year. So we made a lot of records in a very short time. And so this time, we don't want it to repeat ourselves. We wanted some freshness, something, just so we asked some friends. Ike Freeze is that was the producer from our previous records, and
Okay.
so we wrote a song together with him. And Ken Kengström is a guy, he played in a band called Follow the Cipher. Um, so we toured with them in 2019, and he also writes songs for Sabaton. And
Wow.
so we asked him, hey, you want to write a song for our new album? And then he came, we did this great song, Kingdom Come Together. And also there's a guy in Germany, a band in Germany called Saltatio Mortis, which is kind of like, this medieval, kind of like mixture, medieval folk metal kind of stuff. And so the drummer from that band is a great songwriter. So he wrote a song with our guitar player, the Crusader. And it was just, we wanted to have some people from the outside to bring fresh ideas to
Okay.
not repeat yourself. And we think it worked out great.
Okay. Okay. And talking about creative process, did you write the music first or the lyrics, or do they come together at the same time?
Well, it's the music always comes a little bit earlier, so we start writing the music for a song with the ideas, and then as the song evolves very fast, we know what to write about. We like, okay, this has to be about that, the lyrics have to be about that theme or that thematic or whatever. And so it's kind of like during the process, but the music it always starts, with a melody or with a riff or with something like that, and then the lyrics evolve with the music.
Okay, okay. And what has been the biggest challenge for Workings during the making of Armageddon?
Being on tour all the time, because we did tour, we had the same problem every other artist had with Corona, with the pandemic. We
Oh,
couldn't tour. So when that was done in 2022 and we could tour again, we went on tour like constantly. We played a lot of tours, a lot of concerts, a lot of festivals. And then we wanted to write a new record, but there was already, we had our own headlining tour. We had summer festivals. We had a tour with Subway to
yeah.
Sally. So the biggest challenge was always you are in songwriting mode. You are in the studio. You're sending around ideas. You're talking about songs, and then you have to get out of that mindset and go into tour mindset and tour. And then you are on tour for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then you
Wow.
come back from tour, and then you have to get back into songwriting mode. So that was the most difficult thing.
Okay. And which song on the album was the most difficult to finish and why?
To finish, to finish it was, I think it was Armageddon. That's a very tricky song. The title song. It was one of the last songs we wrote for the record. It's very riff driven and very tricky, and we wanted to you know both vocals, Morgana and the Tribune. We wanted to show
Uh,
both what they are capable of. So that was a little bit tricky. That took some time. Yeah, so to speak. So that was one of the trickier
Armageddon.
songs.
Okay.
Yes.
And Viking, how has the band grown or evolved since starting in 2018?
Oh, we when our first record came out 2018, and then we didn't know what to expect. So we thought nobody would like what we do. That was really like we just did this for us. When the first record, we had no expectations. So we really did this for us. We wanted to make this kind of music, this kind of style, and then it took off from then. So we went on our first tour the record came out in November 2018, and we were on tour in, I don't know, end of January
Mhm.
2019. And so we went on tour with Amaranth, if you know the band
Yes,
Amaranth.
of course.
Yeah, and Amaranth is not power metal, so there's a lot of electronic stuff. It's an awesome band, but we thought, we're totally that's the totally wrong tour for us. But we just wanted to tour, and
Yes.
the tour was great. I mean, Amaranth are really great people, and the fans were great, and we had a great time. We sold tons of T-shirts, and that was kind of like the start of it. So from that point on, we knew, okay, there's something that other people also like. And then we basically toured 2019 the whole year. And then we made the second record, and we were ready to, conquer the world. And then the fucking pandemic hit. And for like more than 2 years, we were all just sitting around and writing music. So, but it is kind of like, for something that we really started just for us,
Hmm.
it's 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 there's no words, like there's so we just came back from Grass Pop Festival. We played, I don't know, 40,000 people singing our songs. So it's unbelievable, how from
Of course.
really being something you do only for yourself to this where the band is right now. That's awesome.
Wow. The first track, Armageddon, talks about a Viking raid on Lindisfarne, right?
Yes.
Why did you choose that event to begin the album?
Now, actually, it was the other way around. But normally we're looking for a theme that we can write the album, not like a concept, but with like a theme
Okay.
that goes to the album. So we had the title Armageddon. We wanted to write about events in history, that kind of changed history at that moment, kind of changed something big. And we wanted to write about that. There's not only winners, there's also people, who died, who lost that. And for them, it was kind of like Armageddon.
Okay.
So we had the title. So we had the title Armageddon. And we never did that before on all the first four records. The record has its title, but there was never a song like that. And then, like I said, Armageddon was one of the last songs we wrote. So it was like, the ideas for the song came, and then like I don't know who, I think it was me or the Tribune came up with the idea to write about Lindisfarne. And we thought it's perfect because for the monks of the monastery, when they got, when there was this Viking raid, for them was like Armageddon. It was the end of the world. They
Yeah,
didn't know
of
what
course.
happened. They had never seen Northmen before. They didn't know what happened. So it that was just perfect. So that's why. And then we told the cover artist the title and what happened in the song, and then he came with this fantastic cover with this Viking Reaper,
Beautiful, beautiful.
storming the beach of Lindisfarne, and yeah, that's the story behind that.
Well, you have another song that I like, Genghis Khan.
Yes,
Yes, this is the second single, I think, right?
yes, it's the second single. It was saved from Orden Ogan.
Yes. What do you admire or find interesting about Genghis Khan and his legacy?
Because it's like how you say that, on that's the, that's also fits to the theme of Armageddon, because for his people he was he was the big Genghis Khan. He was the Khan of Khans. He was the big conqueror who, at his time conquered most of the known world. He was the and his soldiers, his horde, the horde of Genghis Khan, they were so loyal to him. And on the other hand, he killed, I don't know, 10% of the people of the world, at that time. So he brought a lot of pain and misery and death. And there were a lot of people who were on the other side. So that is kind of like fascinating, this kind of person, to have someone who on one hand is so admired and on the other hand is like, for other people, is like the true evil. So that's why we wrote this song.
Okay, okay. Kings of Ragnarok is an epic song. Does
Yeah.
it personal to you as the Viking?
Uh, y- yeah, I mean, Kings of Ragnarok was actually the first song we wrote for the record.
Hmm, good to know.
We had this, yeah, we wanted just to write a song about Ragnarok, about the end of Ragnarok is kind of like Armageddon, the end of the world when the Midgard serpent rises and the Fenris wolf and the gods fight and die, and like in Norse mythology, this is the big end, and so we had this idea to write this song about, and then it became Kings of Ragnarok, and so we were first thinking about naming the record Ragnarok, but then there's a lot of records with the title Ragnarok, so we choose Armageddon. And
Oh,
that was actually that was the first song we did.
well, yeah, okay, okay. You play huge festival. We talked
Yeah.
about just minutes ago, like Wacken, for example. Too.
Yes.
What is the what is one moment on stage will always remember?
The first time we play, we are coming back to Wacken like for the third time. We play
Third time.
the first time we played Wacken was the first year of the band in 2019. And for a musician in a metal band, Wacken is like the holy ground. That's the holy grail. You want to play Wacken.
Absolutely.
It's one of the biggest heavy metal festivals in the world. Like in I don't know how it is in the US, but in Europe, like even totally, even people who don't know nothing about heavy metal, they know the name Wacken because it's on television, it's everywhere, and so
Wow.
we were booked to Wacken in 2019, and then we at the day we had to play like 4 hours before our show. Like there was thunder and hail and rain and everything, and so we had to leave. Everybody had to leave the festival because they stopped the festival because it was too dangerous. So we were like 2 miles away in a school building, and it was raining and hailstorm. And then they told us, okay, the festival is canceled. We're gonna stop it. It's not. And we were all like, oh no. I mean, you get booked for Wacken, and then you go to Wacken, and then you can't play. And then like 45, like 60 to 45 minutes before our show time, some guy from Wacken came to our tour manager and said, "Oh, we're gonna continue the festival. You're next on your stage. I mean, there's many stages in Wacken, but you're next." So our crew, ran to the stage. We rushed to the backstage. We get into our stage clothes and everything. We rushed to the stage, and like 20 minutes before our show, they opened the doors. So all the people 80,000 people had to leave the festival, and they were in their cars and buses and on the camping ground. So like 20 minutes before the show, I walked on stage and took a look, and there was, you imagine a stage and a, a, a place for 20,000 people, and there's nobody, like
Wow.
literally nobody. And I walked on stage like 20 minutes before our show, and I thought, okay, you're going to be the first band playing a sold out Wacken, and there's nobody in front of stage because everybody is waiting to come in.
Oh,
And
my-
then we I went off stage. I got ready, with everything. I had to, warm up and all this stuff. And then we have this intro. And after the intro, I walked onto stage,
Okay.
expecting nobody, and there were like 20,000 people.
Wow.
And I will remember that moment forever because in my head I was like, okay, there will be nobody there because everybody waits to get in, and they came in like 20 minutes, and we played one of the best show we ever played, like in front of like
Fantastic.
20,000
Beautiful.
people. And
Beautiful.
that was I will. And also, like last week we played grass pop in front of 40,000 people, and when I
Wow.
walked on stage and I couldn't see the end of the crowd, and that was also, when you get goosebumps and a little bit, when your eyes get a little bit wet because it's so amazing.
Talking about that, Viking, do you have any personal rituals before going on stage to prepare for a battle mode?
Yeah, we have our dressing room playlist. So like an hour before the show, when we start to get ready and warm up, we close the backstage door. Nobody is allowed in. Only the tour manager. And then we play a couple of songs from bands we like, and we drink a little bit of Jägermeister, and then we gather all together just like a minute before the show. Crew and band gathers together, and then we cheer each other up, and then we just walk on stage.
Okay, okay. Jagermeister. I remember that liquor.
Yeah, that's a bad one. If you drink too much, it's a bad one. It's a bad one.
Next year, you'll tour with Visions of Atlantis, a band I love, for the Pirates and Kings Tour. What can
Yes.
fans expect from those shows?
Actually, a lot of chaos and fun. When pirates tour with kings, it's gonna be really, really fun. We're gonna, it's a co-headlining tour, so we both bands play the same set lengths, and we all bring a big show. I think Visions bring their kind of like pirate ship that they have on stage, and we bring a big show with fire and smoke and everything, and we just, like, we're just gonna make a big, big party. We have this idea now, this start. We're friends with Visions for so many years. We're really good friends with them, and it was kind of like a backstage party idea. I don't know, 3 years ago, when somebody said you should tour together and you should name it Pirate and Kings. And since then, we had this idea in mind and wanted to do this tour. And now we find the spot, the time spot where both bands are available to tour together, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Maybe we do a song together. Let's see.
Okay, okay. Finally, what message would you like to send the world to Warkings fans around the world waiting for Armageddon?
Yeah, just go out, stream it, buy it. It's a great record. It's like we put every drop of hard blood we have into it. We made it as good as possible as we can do. It's 10 great songs, and yeah, just go out and listen to, buy it, come to the concerts, and we're gonna have a good time together. That's the best thing that you can do. And the best thing is you're gonna buy the CD or the vinyl, because times are tough. Everybody's doing streaming, and so just buy the physical product. That's the real deal.
Okay, okay. I love the song Here's Come the Rain, just in
Oh
case.
yeah, yeah. That's like, you know we all like this kind of 80s heavy metal, rock ballads, heavy ballads, and we wanted to do something like in the style of walking.
Beautiful,
So that so
beautiful.
that was we love it.
I love it too. Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you, Viking.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I hope to see you here in Canada.
Yeah, we really, actually, at the moment we're talking about plans coming over to the US and Canada.
You'll come. I'm
Yeah,
sure that'll
yeah,
happen.
I'm sure too. We don't know when, if it's 2026 or 2027, but we will come.
Maybe you'll come with Visions of Atlantis. I saw them 2 months ago. They were fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Actually,
Toronto.
we are talking about bringing Pirates and Kings over.
Yes, yes, yes. I will see you here.
Yeah, you will see. Okay, bye
Thank you.
bye.
Good luck.
Bye
Bye.
bye.